And so once he's created now his great Mongol nation, it says here, after uniting all the people, he abolished inherited aristocratic titles in their lineages, clans, and tribes. All such offices belonged to the state, not to the individual or his family, and they would be distributed at the will of the new ruler. And he also rejected, it says here, for himself, Temujin rejected the older tribal titles such as Gur Khan or Taeyong Khan, and chose instead the title that his own followers probably already used for him, Genghis Khan, a name that later became known in the West through the Persian spelling as Genghis Khan. So it first started as Genghis Khan with two G's, and now it's Genghis Khan with one G, and a G, I guess, at the front too, at the beginning of the word. The Mongolian word Chin meant strong, firm, unshakable, and fearless, and it is close to the Mongolian word for wolf. And as typical in Europe, it says here, the speaker admonished Genghis Khan that whatever authority or power he had given him was derived from heaven, and that God would not fail to bless and prosper his designs if he governed his subjects well and justly, but that on the contrary, he would render himself miserable if he abused that power. And now there's all kinds of neat laws that Genghis Khan starts as he's making this new empire. So here's some of the new changes. Under Genghis Khan, cowherds, shepherds, and camel boys advanced to become generals and rode at the front of armies of 1,000 or 10,000 warriors. Every healthy male aged 15 to 70 was an active member of the army. Just as he had done when first elected tribal Khan, he appointed his most loyal followers as the heads of groups of 1,000 soldiers and their households, and his oldest followers, such as Burcha, took charge of units of 10,000. He rewarded men who came from lowly backbone lineages and placed them in the highest positions based on their achievements and proven loyalty to him on and off the battlefield. Compared with the units of 10,000 that he gave to his loyal friends, those assigned to the control of members of his own family were more meager, 5,000 each to his mother, his younger brother, and his two youngest sons, Ogadai and Tuloi. With only 8,000 for Jang Hatai and 9,000 for Joshi, even his two eldest sons did not receive a full tumen of 10,000. Genghis Khan appointed trusted friends of his own to oversee the administration of several family members, particularly for his mother, youngest brother, and Chagadai. He explained the need for such overseers by stating that Jangatai was obstinate and has a petty, narrow mind. He warned the advisors to stay beside him morning and evening to advise him. Another new law. He forbade the kidnapping of women, almost certainly a reaction to the kidnapping of his own wife, Borta. He also forbade the abduction and enslavement of any Mongol. From his own capture and enslavement by the Tayechud, he knew the individual and personal anguish of being abducted and forced to work as a slave. But he also recognized how detrimental the practice was to the entire social fabric and what strong animosities and violence it perpetuated throughout the tribes of the steppe. He also declared all children legitimate, whether born to a wife or a concubine. He forbade selling women into marriage. He outlawed adultery, an act that the Mongols defined differently than most people. It did not include sexual relations between a woman and her husband's close relatives, nor those between a man and a female servant or the wives of other men in his household. In keeping with Genghis Khan's dictum that matters of the jur should be decided within the gur, this is the home, and matters of the steppe decided on the steppe, adultery applied to relations between married people or of separate households. As long as it did not cause a public strife between families, it did not rank as a crime. Theft of animals had always been considered wrong, but it had been commonplace in the raiding culture of the steppe, and also had been the cause of lingering animosity and discord. He made animal rustling a capital offense. Anyone finding a lost animal, return it to his rightful owner. Any person who found such goods, money, or animals and did not return them into the appropriate supervisor would be treated as a thief. The penalty for theft was execution. Genghis Khan codified existing ideals by forbidding the hunting of animals between March and October during the breeding time. Hunters had to limit their kill to what they needed for food and no more. In probably the first law of its kind anywhere in the world, Genghis Khan decreed complete and total religious freedom for everyone. Although he continued to worship the spirits of his homeland, he did not permit them to be used as a national cult. Genghis Khan exempted religious leaders and their property from taxation and from all types of public service. To promote related professions, he later extended the same tax exemptions to a range of professionals who provided essential public services, including undertakers, doctors, lawyers, teachers, and scholars. Now about his Khan, office of the Khan. According to this law, the Khan must always be elected by a Kurultai. He made it a capital offense for any member of his family to claim the office without election. To prevent rival candidates from killing each other, he ordered that the death penalty would be applied to members of his family only through a Kurultai of the whole family, and not through any individual member. In doing so, he outlawed the very means that he himself had used to begin his rise to power, killing his half-brother. Mongol Law, as codified by Genghis Khan, recognized group responsibility and group guilt. The solitary individual had no legal existence outside the context of the family and the larger units to which it belonged. Therefore, the family carried the responsibility of ensuring the correct behavior of its members. A crime by one could bring punishment to all. That's very similar to Japanese culture, I think, at least historically. Enslavement by the law and the responsibility to abide by it began at the highest level with the Khan himself. In this manner, Genghis Khan had proclaimed the supremacy of the rule of law over any individual, even the sovereign. By subjecting the ruler to the law, he achieved something that no other civilization had yet accomplished.